Hi everyone, my name is Ryan. I'm a detailer in America. We're in Scottsdale, Arizona, in the USA. And in today's video, I wanted to take you through just a garage therapy detail. This is for GT Nation. So I don't think we're gonna use every single product here, but we have a dirty Jeep. It was just shipped here from another state. And so we're gonna do a full interior, exterior deep dive. I'm gonna take you through some of my favorite products and how I use them. We'll add a little commentary along the way, but I just wanted to kind of show you the versatility of some of these products. I think the standout, which you're gonna see of this Jeep here in a moment, is going to be Garage Therapy Decon Shampoo. We're gonna use it in multiple areas. So stick with me and hope you enjoy the video. Thanks. All right, got some road film here. Dirty tires. Just your typical traffic film here. Dirty wheels, fender wells. And then this wash includes a engine bay detail. So I'll take you through how I detail an engine bay. This is what we're starting with. On modern cars, you don't have to be the most careful here, and I apologize, I have you on the side. It's very sunny where I'm at. So on modern cars, you don't have to be the most careful, right? If there was an old carburetor or open kind of intake, you would want to cover that up. The alternator's down there, but as long as we're not kind of spraying directly into it, it's okay to get wet. Engine bays are not watertight, so they're able to get wet. So that's our pre-rinse. We have Garage Therapy Decon Shampoo in here at 1 to 10. Now get your favorite brush. Sometimes these fender brushes are nice because you can reach for those that are vertically challenged, right? And we can kind of get up in there and make sure we're hitting all the areas that we couldn't normally reach. Otherwise you would need a step ladder or something like that. So we can do that. And then as you get closer, you can switch to a better tool, more suited for it. But yeah, you don't have to be, super nervous. Again, if this is an older car, I would be mindful of fuse boxes and exposed wiring and battery things, but this is a modern car. We're not going to hurt anything. Modern cars are okay to kind of get wet, if you will. So no issues there. So this is just a general all-purpose brush. Works really good to kind of get around those contours. Just really getting the surface level dirt off here. All right, for wheels, I like to use a 25-degree nozzle. If you have a turbojet, you can get it in the wheel wells as well. So a thorough pre-rinse. Have our wheel tools here. And then I have Garage Therapy Decon. This is 1 to 20 in the IKE foamer. With our Sponge Guru. Now these are the 18-inch. These look actually very shallow, so I could have gone with the 12-inch alloy cleaner, but I'm liking the 18s. I think they work really well. So the benefit here to Garage Therapy Decon Shampoo is that it's honestly a one-size-fits-all. You see, I used it for an engine bay cleaning. I'm using it for wheel cleaning. and I'm going to use it on the paint next. And what I like to use it as a pre-wash on very dirty cars, and then the secret for me is using it in the bucket as well for our contact wash, because it just gives you that extra cleaning power that you're looking for. Some people like to use snow and then go into other products, snow foam, but on a deep dive like this, I'm eventually just going to do, this is like a wash clay seal, but I like to use Decon shampoo for a bit of everything. Some tire brush. Getting some decent little browning there. Yeah, these are some knobby tires, so it helps to have a really big brush. And pro tip, when you're cleaning tires, don't just, scrub and be done. Don't just go through the motions, right? Actually scrub and, pay attention to what you're doing here. Let the soap and the brush do the work for you. I prefer a small wheel mitt, then I can kind of get in the nooks and crannies. And then get behind the spokes where you can. My secret weapon here, little sponge guru. This is the diamond tool, but it works really, really well around the lug nuts. So you can kind of deep clean those. Well, that's a wheel lock, can't get in there, but the other ones, you can kind of sneak it in, because there's nothing worse than perfectly clean wheel, then around the lug nuts, you see all that kind of built up debris that you missed, right? So that's kind of my secret weapon there. Then we rinse. We're trying to do our pre-wash. This is, again, Garage Therapy Decon Shampoo 1 to 10. And time for the snow foam, as everyone likes, as my favorite Brit says, yes. It's Jeremy Clarkson. All right, so we're gonna let that dwell for as long as possible, maybe 3 or 4 minutes, and then we'll come in for the rinse off, and then we'll get into our contact wash. I have Decon shampoo at, what do I have this in the bucket? I have this at 65 mils to, what is that, 4 or 5 gallons? So that's what they advise for kind of heavy cleaning, and that's what we need here. So you just let the wash pad do the work here, and it just cuts away at any existing road grime. Which makes life so much easier. When you get to the lowers, flip your pad, come back, start back at the top. Once we get back down to the lower, we will dunk our pad in our 2-bucket wash system. Comment down below if, I know this will be seen globally, but I know this is also for our GT channel in the UK. How does everyone like to wash in the UK? Do you use 2 buckets? Do you like 1 bucket? What's your reasoning though? But put it in the comments below. We would love to hear from you. Now I've done the roof off camera. I just had my step ladder and got up there. You always want to start from the top down. It's good practice. And the cool thing about the Decon shampoo, guys, is it's very, very slick. It's very, very lubricated, right? So I don't feel like I'm dragging the wash pad over dry paint or something. And now there is a difference. There is a difference in soaps. Some pre-washes aren't necessarily designed, or decon shampoos aren't necessarily designed for a bucket wash, but this one certainly is. And it's just melting the dirt away. And we have some tar, so we'll address that with GT tar and glue remover in a moment. Oh wow, that actually just took off the tar. Wow. Decon shampoo is pretty special, guys, pretty special. Now, you could have pre-treated any bugs or anything with GT citrus. Unfortunately, I'm out of citrus. Theirs is highly dilutable. So just another pro tip with citrus and pre-treating, but honestly, I find that GT shampoo works just as well as a pre-treatment for a bug remover. All right, so we have just completed our decon wash. I have clayed it off camera. I used a synthetic clay block. So my rule with clay is, if I'm going to polish and ceramic coat, I use a traditional clay bar, and you can use like the Garage Therapy clay bars, because I truly believe they deep clean much better. Now, if you're just going through the typical wash clay seal, like the quick one, you can certainly use a synthetic clay bar. It'll get it actually, pretty good. It's just not gonna it's gonna remove the surface and contamination, but it's not truly gonna pull out that embedded contamination. So just my pro tip there. And real quick, while we're on it, this is why I like GT decon shampoo. The car already looks so much brighter and cleaner, right? Just using that, but the other thing is, it's literally squeaky clean, and it feels like you almost just panel wiped it, right? So the cleansing, the deep cleaning with the surfactants and the detergents in Garage Therapy decon shampoo is truly why I love it. So what we're doing is we're prepping the exterior for our seal. So what I'm gonna do is go around with GT glass. We'll clean the windows. Even though the car has been cleaned, I just like to go over the windows one more time in case you missed any spots, and obviously we'll do the inside as well. We'll do that off camera. Now for glass cleaning, pro tip, there's a million and one different methods. People say you can just use water. People wanna use 47 towels. I like to use my glass cleaner, and then typically 2 towels or a big enough towel where you can always have kind of a clean side. Preferably, I like the waffle weave style towels. These are from the Rag Company. I just like them because they glide over the surface. The terry weave can tend to drag. So what I do, and GT glass is really nice because it's a good, it kind of just sits there and clings, right? It doesn't really run, which I like. And then so I do the box method, go outside of my glass and then come through, get the middle, flip my towel to a clean side, and now we're just gonna buff off and go. And every time you will have clean windows. This is sun safe. It works, I've been testing it, indoors, outdoors, streak free every time. So won't bore you with more glass cleaning, and then I'll come to you really quickly once we're doing the Sigma. This is an excellent sealant. It lives in the range between, you have Garage Therapy Quick Detailer, Sigma, and then you have their ceramic sealant. I like this one. This is a nice in between. They claim 9 weeks of durability. I haven't fully tested that, but it's gone quite some time. What I love about Sigma is the slickness, the gloss, and bonus is the scent. So it says spray 1 to 2 full sprays on the panel. Spread it evenly, let it sit for 10 to 15 seconds. In warmer climates, may be necessary to spread with a short pile towel to ensure a thin even coat. Spread until you see the product almost start to flash. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I'm in Scottsdale, Arizona. I live in a desert. It's very dry. I am filming this in our winter time, but it's 75 degrees Fahrenheit right now. So I'll put up the Celsius number up there for you. In my conditions, this flashes almost instantly. So I typically just need to spray it on and wipe it off, or else it's funny because it's a sealant, but for me, you run the risk of not quite high spots, but there could be leftover residue. So you do want to work relatively quickly and in smaller sections. I don't advise using it as a drying aid. Some people like to have the car wet, spray it on and dry with a towel. You certainly can, but I find that you might miss spots. So I like to apply it with 2 towels. So I have a short pile towel here. So we'll go 1, 2 in this section. So we'll spread it. lightly, right? And so that's it for me, right? And it's already starting to kind of cure, so I'm just gonna quickly go over it, put a little bit of elbow grease into it because we do wanna kind of remove this. We wanna make sure it's kind of sealed in, and that's it. And oof. Oh yeah. Yeah. I love Sigma is just, it's a good time for the whole family, folks. I enjoy it. So one full spray here, quickly kind of spread it, a thin layer. Again, my climate, it's a pretty quick flash, so I'm just gonna go back over it, buff it off very gently, no pressure. And there we go. So the other cool thing is you can apply it to glass, no issues. So we'll spread it right there and white. Perfect. And yeah, it leaves a really nice layer of protection on glass as well. You can use this on plastic trims. You can use it all over the car. You could use it on wheel faces if you want to. So I'm gonna get working on this. I'm gonna spray the rest of the car with Sigma. We'll seal it in and I'll work on the inside. We're not gonna get you any of those shots. And at the end, we'll go over my final thoughts here, some pro tips, and we'll show you some end results. Tire time. One of my all-time favorite tire dressings is Garage Therapy Tire Serum. It not only protects the tires, it conditions them, nourishes them. So we prepped it, maybe some missed spots here and there, but again, this is a quick wash. So normally we would apply this to a regular tire dressing applicator, but with big truck tires, it's very knobby. It's kind of hard to get in the nooks and crannies. So my pro tip is find one of these where you're at. This is, I call it a kind of a salt and pepper brush. That's how it starts. Once you've used it for a while, you will, I call it, you'll season it. It's like a good cast iron pan, right? It gets seasoned with your tire dressing. And so I shake up tire serum, open it, then I put some over the top, right? Put that on there. And then it makes spreading it so much easier over big knobby tires, lorry tires, truck tires, whatever, you know, whatever you're doing there. And so if you start to see it run out, because these are pretty dry and they haven't really been conditioned, just reload. You don't have to load up too much, right? And you can even get kind of tight if there are lips with this brush. It gets really, you can get really tight actually with it. So some of the finer lips and things like that, you don't need any other tools. So I enjoy it. And again, on the knobs, just kind of go different directions, right? And you'll get all of those dressed. Now, pro tip, if you do pick one of these up new, they will be very linty. So I advise, you know, hit it with the pressure washer a few times, use it, or just deal with the lint that's gonna come off on your tires the first few times. But again, once it's seasoned, you really don't want to clean this brush because you want it to kind of have that layer of dressing in it, which is counterintuitive. We normally want to clean all of our tools, but with a brush like this, it just helps to have it seasoned. So I highly recommend picking one of these up if you are doing a lot of trucks or knobby SUV tires. Regular SUV tires are fine, but the ones with like the knobs, like the off-roady tires, are best for these brushes. So we'll let that soak in for a little bit and I'll show you the final result, but much easier than using a traditional applicator. Keep a towel on hand if you've got any on the rim and just quickly touch up your rims. That is how to apply GT Tire Serum to a off-road style tire. I hope that was valuable for you, everyone. I'm a couple hours later here. The interior was a little rougher than I was expecting, so spent some time in there, but I'll overlay kind of the final shots of the car. I think it turned out really nice. Sigma is a beautiful product. It can really extract a lot of gloss. I think it's really difficult to get white to pop. So I'm really happy with the way that this Jeep turned out. A few kind of parting thoughts and a few pro tips for you, some things here. The one thing I'll show you on the engine bay, I don't know if it's advised, but I did dilute tire serum 1 to 4. And I sprayed it in the engine bay once it was wet, and we kind of let it self-level, and then I went back and touched up with a towel. Full transparency, I don't know if that's advised, but I'm just showing you how I've been trying it out in my environment, and it seems to work out really well. So maybe give that a shot, maybe don't. Maz or Roger will weigh in and advise for or against that. So that's a fun tip with tire serum. Again, we covered Decon shampoo. It's the king, right? It can do everything. Cleans wheels and tires. You can do it as a pre-wash, and then you can do it as a contact wash. I love using this for my deep cleans because it just leaves the surface squeaky clean. So Decon shampoo is a really slept on product. So I highly recommend that product. A few other things to note, which we were kind of in a hurry for and didn't have a lot of time. I finished the rubber floor mats with dash serum. This can obviously be used on the dash and other areas, but it can also be used on rubber floor mats. It kind of richens it back up without leaving it like that greasy or slippery feeling. So dash serum can be used for floor mats as well. And then last couple tips here, Sigma, again, it's a pretty quick flashing product. Again, in my environment, warmer conditions, I would suggest pretty much spray it on, level it, and wipe it off. You'll have really good success there. And then for maintenance moving forward, we can simply just use the GT pH neutral shampoo and snow foam. And then if you want, you can use the quick detailer from GT just for maintenance and regular upkeep. This will last 1 to 2 weeks. Nothing major in terms of protection, but it's a really great product. Adds a lot of gloss and slickness. Well, again, I hope that was valuable for you, GT Nation. Thank you so much for joining me again. My name is Ryan. My shop is Fine Detailing in Arizona. We will link to all the products down below in the description. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comments box below. We'll get those answered for you. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you all so much. We'll catch you in the next one.